know you have talked a bit about that as well. But it is interesting. It's not like that's not something most bands do or find themselves in a position to be doing, is to kind of return to the past in the midst of what can be a pretty delicate process of creating the present / future. Like, how was that? Or did it not end up feeling significant, particularly, to kind of take that break from writing? Or I don't really know enough about where you were in the process and how.
We were deep in the process,
okay.
and I don't feel like for me it didn't really impact anything that I was writing or what I was contributing as a writer. But I think it gave us, like, just being in front of our audience and playing live.
Yeah.
I think that was really useful to go back to the studio and have that sense of, you know, the urgency and the immediacy of a live show. I think that kind of got into the cracks of what we were doing with Ridman in a very good way. I think it was really beneficial.
I think it was like less about touring from Bright Lights and more about taking this batch of songs that you've been working on, the Mirage songs, and putting them aside for several months, like ignoring them, and then basically going on tour and then pick them back up after 4 months and see how you felt about them. I felt like that was something different we've never done anything like that before.
Was it, I mean, is there anything that we hear, like, is there any song that's on the album that you weren't sure was going to be on the album in between? I mean, is there any one that stands out, or, anything that comes to mind when I say that?
I think there's a lot of things that probably end up on the record that before we started recording, I probably would have, there's a lot of songs that end up on the record that before we started recording, I probably would have guessed would have been on the record.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of surprises that just evolved from the studio, working with Dave and the mixing process. There are a lot of songs that seem like they're more like destined, maybe like, I don't know, other releases or whatever, B-sides or something like that, but then they just came out so strong that they sort of found their place, they earned their place on the record. It was really exciting about this. It wasn't something that was like so scripted. We had an idea, but like things just changed because you know, results in the studio are sort of undeniable, and they find their place. But I think like it was interesting before, like, because we started rehearsing for the Bright Lights tour, I think at the end of July of last year, 2017, and at that point we'd already written, I think most of the music was finished. I think Paul was still working on lyrics and vocal melodies, but most of that was finished. And then we didn't go back to, you know, those songs, the Mirage songs, until the end of November. We had 1 week to kind of play them for the first time in 4 months, and then we started recording like a week later. So, but yeah.
So wait, Paul, were you writing lyrics? When did you write the lyrics? Like, I mean, I guess it's throughout.
Yeah, all throughout. And I did, like, in the very early rehearsals, I sort of made a point of trying to get the vocal ideas going, like, really, really early on. So as I say, I always have that sort of blueprint of, the first I want to come up with what would either be the title or the concept, and then like the initial top line melody of the song. And once I have that, then I can just kind of go away to the beach or do, you know, write from there, from any place. And I was starting that immediately. I think, you know, I put a long time into writing lyrics on this record in particular.
It sounds like it. It's very personal, as they say. Maybe more than usual. Do you think that's true? Like, do you think they're more, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're more immediate, maybe more direct.
Yeah.
But I always, when we talk about this record as being kind of more personal, I always feel like they're personal.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm, you know, trying to reveal things, whether about myself or about, you know.
Like what?
I'll fall for Paul.
Come on, spill it, I'm curious.
No,
I think, I don't know, I guess it's just, you know, my take, and I feel like sometimes on this record, putting things through a little bit more of a simple, direct filter, I felt like I was able to kind of express the concepts or even just like express the emotions that were, you know, charging me up creatively. And I think sometimes I need to put that through an abstract prism or project it onto a character, and then I feel like some of the things that I was sort of experiencing and wanted to express could just come out through a pretty direct recounting of, you know, something I've experienced or someone close to me has experienced, and just kind of keep it a little bit more direct like that. But I don't know why. I don't know why.
Okay, fine.
That wasn't a conscious choice.
No.